Let the galaxy burn.
Hi guys, Skypoint here, and today I have some more exclusive reveals for the new Legio Custodes faction, which is hitting the game on Friday. Now so far we've seen some other reveals from other content creators, and what we know about the Legio Custodes is that they rely on very powerful troops, but they have this sort of debuff called Sentinel, meaning that while these troops are in play, they're not drawing any cards. Well, in today's video, I'm going to be showing you another aspect of the Legio Custodes. So we begin by taking a look at the Turmalis support squad. So this is a regular unit of the Custodes, and just like many of the other units, it comes in with pretty strong stats for its cost. It has cost 5 energy, it has 5 attack, and it has 6 health. However, it does have a special ability, and if we take a look at what that is, we can see that while you have Turmalis support squad in play, your warlord actually gets a powerful buff. He has +1 attack. Now we don't know what the basic stat lines of the Legio Custodes warlords will be, but even a regular warlord with 2 attack is now going to be a 3 attack warlord as long as these guys are in play, and that can make a huge difference, right? It can be the difference between killing a unit or leaving it alive. And basically what that means is as long as these guys are in play, the Legio Custodes warlord is basically like Angron on his own, or like Sevatar when the enemy has no troops. 3 damage warlords can be very powerful, and who knows, maybe their Primarch will be higher, or almost certainly whenever he triggers his Reckoning form or Whisper form or whatever it's going to be called, most warlords tend to go up, most Primarchs tend to go up to +1 attack at the very least, and so that would potentially make this guy a +4 attack. So anyhow, that's a very intriguing looking thing. Of course, this does have the Sentinel debuff, so while these guys are in play, you're not drawing any cards, which is something which might harm you more in the long term. But anyhow, now that we've seen that you can buff your warlord, what would be handy to do with that? Well, let's go ahead and take a look at Auric Mortalis. Now this is an expensive tactic. It comes in at 5 energy, but look at this effect. Deal damage to all enemies equal to your warlord's attack. This is their area clear card, right? So if you just play Auric Mortalis on its own, it's a 5 energy cost card which does 2 damage to everything on the enemy board, which makes it an improved version of Artillery Strike, which does 2 damage to 3 random targets for 4 energy. Instead, Auric Mortalis will at the very least do 2 damage to all of the enemies, which is honestly, I think it's better than Satellite Strike, because Defense Satellites rather, because it's a reliable 2 points of damage, right? You know exactly what you're getting. But imagine if you played this card after those last guys, when your warlord is at 3 attack at the very least, and now suddenly you're doing 3 damage across the board to all of your enemies. That's very powerful, right? And then again, as I mentioned, there's other ways your warlord can get buffed, and maybe their Primarch warlord will have higher attack at some point, and then this will just keep scaling on top of that. This is a great board clear. It's I like it, and I also like the way how it's dependent on how buffed your warlord is. And I'm sure there's probably going to be other cards we'll see which for the Legio Custodes, which are going to be buffing the warlord in some way, shape or form. If not, there's always various neutral cards, right? So you get things like Firewalkers, which in one turn will buff your warlord's attack as well. So what's actually really cool about the combo of this card and the one before is if you still have the Turmalis support squad in play when you play Auric Mortalis, so that your warlord has 3 attack, you're first of all doing 3 damage across the board to all of the enemy. And then after that, your Turmalis support squad can attack, doing an extra 5 points of damage, and then your warlord can also attack, doing an extra 3 points of damage. So between your warlord and the support squad, that's 8 points of damage, plus another 3 across the board. With just 2 cards on the board, you can be potentially crushing the enemy right there. Alright, so Now that you've buffed your Warlord, you've done some big area attack, you've attacked with your Warlord, but now you're looking at his health, right? He's now taken some damage, maybe you had to throw him into a powerful enemy unit. Well, Legio Custodes have you covered right there. Let's take a look at Preternatural Skill. Look at this card. 3 energy cost. For its first effect over here, healing 5 to your Warlord for 3 energy cost would be worth it on its own. Also, giving your Warlord precognition until your next turn for 3 energy would be worth it on its own, because with precognition, you're immune to regular attacks. Only tactics and special abilities can hit you. So, has your enemy dropped the Slayer of Worlds? Is that 15 damage about to kill you? Don't worry, Preternatural Skill has you covered right there for 3 energy. But the amazing thing which I love about this card is that combination. You're simultaneously giving your Warlord a huge heal. This is, I think, the most powerful heal card in the game. 3 energy for 5 health for 3 energy. And you're making him immune to regular attacks. You are going to be cursing this card every time you're facing the Legio Custodes and they play this and their Warlord starts laughing in your face. I love this card. I think this is definitely going to be there in every single deck. It's so fantastic for an aggro Warlord to play. Alright, so with that, let's take a look at all those cards together again for one more time. So you can see here that we're seeing a new style of play for the Custodes deck. One which is not so much based around their incredibly powerful troops, but now it's based around using their Warlords to really take the heart out of the enemy. So you've got the Turmalis support squad, which buffs your Warlord and makes him stronger. You've got Auric Mortalis, which takes your Warlord's strength and uses it to devastate the entire enemy board. And then you've got Preternatural Skill, which is your defensive move, where your Warlord heals up and becomes immune to regular attacks. Well, we only have around, less than 48 hours now until we get to try the Custodes out in the new event and start building up our collection of Custodes cards. So I'm excited to see I'm excited to see more cards come out, and I'm excited to see the full collection, which I'll be doing a review of in just under 2 days. So until then, have fun playing the game, guys, and I hope you're just as excited about the Custodes as I am. Alrighty, bye for now.